Just pick up right as the door unlocks.
And just for those watching, I also want you to keep in mind, not just from the queer standpoint, this 1979. I am a black man. I am not about to walk into a strange old white woman's place unannounced, unrecognized. That's just not happening.
He's like, no. Biza,
Yes.
the lock, the bolt disengages. You can hear it slide back, and the door sighs just slightly. With your screwdriver, you're going to be able to pull it out if you choose to.
I do take it out with me, so that it does not look like the door has been opened.
You take the screwdriver out, and the door is unlocked, but it's still flush against the wall. It looks sealed. It's as if it hasn't been bothered at all.
So then what I will do is then reach back, pull out like an ID card,
Okay.
and I will slip it in between the bolt and locks and just close the door back so they'll be able to access it again.
Okay. You slip out your ID card, and it has a nice, pleasant picture of you. Only the name says Alex McBlain on it.
Yeah, make sure I get that back and slip it back. Closed.
You
And-
slip it back, and
Then I will backtrack and, what flavor of tea are we having?
that's perfect. Let's hop back over to Daniel. Daniel, you have picked up the pieces of your charred lungs, and the frame,
And some glass. Yeah.
and some glass. Yeah. There's no way you're going to be able to front that frame didn't break. The glass is shattered. You can throw the glass away, but you're looking at Phoenix, Fifi, and their little
I'm
kid
looking
sister,
at
Raz.
Fifi. Oh, and the picture.
Oh, the picture. Yeah, the picture.
That's
He was
fine.
like, oh, what?
That's fine.
Don't worry, she's coming. So-
Well, sadly, I'm just gonna leave my messes just like I always do at the apartment.
we need a sticky note. Don't break the frame.
Right. Or I love you.
I love you.
So I'm gonna step out into the hallway and look for. I mean, everybody's gone. What happened?
No, so if you step out into the hallway, you can see right down the hallway. There's a open tenant door, and it looks like Bessie is moving, or Biza is moving away from a door, so you can see at least him.
Okay. So I will follow.
Okay. So
And
I
what
can
type
wrap
of tea
the
are
three
we
of you guys
having?
together. Yeah. So she is serving Earl Grey and milk.
Oh, lovely.
It was her wife's favorite. She sits down with all of you. And again, it's uncomfortable to look in her eyes because you swear that milky, mucusy situation, ocular situation she has almost feels like it's moving. You can't understand how she can see at all. There's a zap of lightning that cuts through the sky. Almost immediately, the massive sound of a thunderclap, whatever storm is here, looks like it's right on top of you, given the time distance between lightning and thunder. And she just sits down and she puts her hands in her lap and she says, "So what brings you over to the sea, to the sea turtle suites? Are you moving in? We haven't had neighbors in a very long time. That nice couple just moved in upstairs. She found a Madeline."
She found Madeline. What?
I was
Lean
telling
over.
your pretty friend
Madeline's-
here that she
Madeline's
should find a pretty
deceased
Madeline.
wife.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Are you all moving in?
We're visiting. We came to speak with Fifi, the landlord.
Oh, Fifi's a nice person. Shame what happened to their sister. I don't think they're doing well with the grieving at all. Are you enjoying your tea?
Oh, it's lovely.
No.
Could you tell us a little more about Fifi, about his sister?
Mm-hmm.
Could I just interject and do? I don't know how to do this, but I'm gonna waft the tea a little bit.
Okay.
To smell it. Just
Yeah.
not by tasting, but by scent, because
By
I
scent?
do have an alchemy skill, and I'm wondering if that would apply.
It will.
Oh, great!
And it does.
Yay!
And Daniel, there's something different about this tea.
Stop. Very unsubtly gesture. Yeah.
And it hits your nostrils, it moves past your nose hair, your brain and your magic immediately starts almost filtering all of this data through an algorithm, and you realize this is the best Earl Grey tea you have ever had. Where did she get this Earl Grey tea from? She couldn't have bought it. She had to import this directly from where it's high-end Earl Grey leaflets. You can't believe it. You've never smelled Earl Grey tea this organic before. This is bougie version of Earl Grey.
That's what I smell?
That's what you smell. There's nothing dangerous about it though. It's not poisoned, it's not enchanted. It's just high-end Earl Grey tea.
Okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. It just smells. This is incredible tea, and I want you to savor it. I just had a moment.
I'm so glad that you're enjoying
nice.
it. It's really good tea, isn't it? My Madeline loved Earl Grey tea. Now, did you have a question for me? I'm sorry. I get distracted sometimes.
Could you tell us about Fifi's sister? What happened to her?
Oh, that Raz was a beautiful young girl. You know, the island doesn't have many children, never really has had many children, but she loved to play. She would run errands. She would always go and play my numbers, and she would always run to that Rose Mart, that nasty, nasty Rose Mart. They don't have good groceries there, but we don't have a lot of options on the island. But she would always run my errands for me. She was a sweet girl. She died. And she looks to the left and she looks to the right, and then she leans in almost conspiratorially. I think she's playing in the basement.
But you said she died.
Her shoulders straighten up and she looks as like, yeah, about 6 months ago, though, the waves took her. Do you see a giraffe out that window?
No.
I'll glance out at the window.
Same.
Daniel, you see sheets of rain coming down. Oh, but Biza, you look out that window and just lurching by, you see the long stalk legs that belong to Dimba, the green and yellow giraffe. And as it moves from one of her windows to the second one, the head coils down and drops that massively long neck, and it's just nose to nose with the glass. And it looks to you.
Yes, I can see the giraffe.
And the woman nods. Okay, good. I thought that was just me. I was afraid that I was getting, you know.
Yeah, I'm finding that a lot since coming to this island.
And the giraffe looks at you, Biza, and it opens its mouth, and that massively long tongue, just black tongue, comes out and splats right against the glass, and it licks up through the rain and the sheets, and its head tilts, and it says to you, well, I was getting ready to call you Biza, but that's not what it would call you. He would call you Alex. And he says to you, it's like, Alex, he can't keep her here. It'll drown everyone. You have to get her out.
How do we get her out?
And the tongue goes back up the window, and then the giraffe's head kind of bonks on the glass. The old woman startles. Tea jumps out of her cup and onto the saucer. And Dimba looks to you and says, she's playing in the basement with all of us.
We'll be there shortly.
And it picks up its head, and you just see 4 long, lanky, thin yellow and green legs disappear. And then the old woman looks directly at you, Daniel, and she says, "For the past few months, we see the most strangest things here."
At which point he's able to just upend his tea. We need to go.
What kinds of things? Tell us more.
Oh, and she says, "Well, last night I was doing my knitting and a teddy bear ran by my living room. It tripped right in there on the bookcase and it picked itself up and it kept on running. I saw a jellyfish just not too long ago." And then she starts just listing off everything. And the more you listen to her, they all sound like childhood imaginary creatures. Some of them sound like normal children, but like there's something fun about them. Like they have wings or a halo or a dragon or they breathe fire. A lot of them are animalistic in nature. But everything that you're hearing sounds playful and childlike.
Well, I know I saw a childhood friend earlier.
I didn't have one of those when I was a child, but I have everyone else's now. Would you like some more tea?
I think we should be going, but thank you very much.
Okay. Please leave my door open on the way out. I like when people come and visit. People don't visit me very much.
I think we'll do more of that later.
And she smiles patiently. Her eyes look over like your shoulder and follow something in the wall. But by the time any of you turn around and look at it, it's gone. That would be really nice. Oh, and tell Fifi the smoke detector in the bathroom is beeping again.
Certainly.
And she settles into her chair. She pulls a blanket over, and it looks like she's just happy to stare out the window. Or even better, she shifts back in the chair, pulls a blanket, and she goes back to staring at the static television.
Then step out into the hallway.
I think the ocean wants her back.
Whatever her is.
I think it's his sister, maybe her ghost or her spirit or something. But the ocean wants her back. It's going to keep storming until it gets her back.
I wish we could know if she wants to go back.
Well, we could go find her.
She's in the basement.
She's in the basement. We know. We've been told where she is, allegedly.
Yep, this way. And I'll march up. I'll take a quick look down the hallway to see if Anne and Fifi are there, and then I will go straight to the door that I unlocked.
No, you look down the hallway, you don't see Annie and you don't see Fifi. And Biza, for some reason that really bothers you. Where is Annie? Where is Fifi?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and there's not that many places to be able to find them or to go searching for anyone here other than the upper floors.
No, she wouldn't leave you. And you know that interconnected song that you feel anytime she's near or in the proximity? That music, that soul music that makes you believe that maybe you are supernatural in some way? You don't feel it right now. It's almost as if somebody took the sheet music that was Annie's soul connection with you and shredded it in half. Something's wrong.
Come on. I will step up to the door and get my fingers into it again and pull as my ID falls away from the door. This is why it was taking so long to join you, Rhea. Oops.
The door opens, and there is this crescendo, this crashing wave of childlike laughter coming from the basement.
Yeah, great.
There's a platform, a single bulb without a casing ahead, and then just looks like a wooden flight of steps that leads down, just out of your view. Even if you turn the corner, it looks like down at the base of the stairs, there's pallets of construction gear. And then that's all you can see. But you see movement down there, shadows disrupting the light. You can hear laughing. You can hear giggling. Someone is having a really good time down there.
Raz?
The giggling stops. And you hear a voice call back, yes?
Told you. What are you doing, honey?
I'm playing.
I'll just step back and gesture to the more supernatural ones of us.
Yep, I'll head in.
Can we come play with you?
Mm-hmm. Your friends are down here with me. Cassie's pretty.
Yes, she is, honey. I'll start making my way down the stairs very trepidatiously.
I will trepidatiously follow.
I shall reach down, pick up my ID, and close the door with the ID in place again so that we're not locked in.
Okay.
And
Rhea,
the door looks undisturbed.
The door looks undisturbed. Rhea, you get to the base of the stairs. Someone has been building the most extravagant, awesome, colorful, charismatic playground that you've ever seen. There are like fake trees down here and tree houses. There's padding on the floor. There are puzzles and mazes and play tables. There are kiosks with painting. There's a massive puzzle sitting on this long, newly constructed table. You can still smell the sawed wood from it. I mean, it looks like it would almost be analogous to walking into a handmade or a homemade Chuck E. Cheese or Discovery World in modern day. It's a massive, massive playground. It looks incredible. There are a lot of things occupying the playground. In addition to each of your imaginary friends that are in various states of play, there are a lot of other imaginary friends down here. There are creatures that are crawling over the walls. There are a collection of teddy bears that are all spinning around in a circle that are singing a song. There are animated books. There are princesses. There are dragons. There's so much activity happening down here. Everything looks happy. And then turning a corner, you see a 12-year-old black girl with massively curly hair that's been activated by recent moisture. She's soaking wet. I mean, completely saturated. She is wearing shorts and like one of those tops that's like the 70s midriff where you can tie it off. It's meant for adults, but it's cute when kids have it on. She has seashell earrings on and a vibrant smile. And she runs directly up to you, Rhea. And she says, "Are you gonna stay? Would you like to play?"
Sure, honey. We can play. Why are you down here?
And that was in character. It's like she can't respond to you. She's trying to figure out the words or to process that question. And she just, I have puzzles. If you like puzzles, if you don't like puzzles, we can read. Do you like to read? I like stories. The treehouse is really fun. Are you going to stay and play?
Let's do a puzzle. I'm shooting glances at the others.
Yeah, let's do a puzzle. That sounds good. Let's solve some things.
And
And I'll grab Daniel's arm just slightly to delay him. You're the witch. Figure something out, please.
I'm working on it.
She goes to a cabinet, a freshly erected cabinet. She goes and she pulls out a box of a brand new unopened puzzle. Rina, what's the puzzle?
The puzzle is three kittens in a basket with a lot of little flowers around it and like a window. That's like some sort of French house looking out to a street. You've got that little basket of kittens just outside with a little bow on the basket.
And she
Does
runs.
that puzzle... Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
Does that puzzle have any meaning for any of us? No.
Not that
Just
you know
a puzzle
of.
I saw once and really thought was cute. So.
It's super cute. She brings the box over to you. She cracks the lid, and she immediately spills all the puzzle pieces out on this small table. And she looks to you and she says, Fifi says the best way to actually solve a puzzle like this is you turn all the pieces upside down, right? And she turns all the puzzle pieces where the colors are facing up and the cardboard is at the bottom. And then you have to organize them by like the color palette because that makes it easier for you to put it together.
Have you seen this puzzle before? Have you done this puzzle?
No.
Where did it come from?
Fifi brought it.
It's a gift from Fifi? How do you feel about the puzzle?
You don't like the puzzle? We can do something different.
No. I actually really like the puzzle. Looking at this picture, look at the kitties, and they seem pretty happy. Does that make you feel happy? No. What makes you feel happy?
And she looks up the stairs, and then she looks over her shoulder, and whatever it is she saw over her shoulder, she very quickly glances back, and you can tell that there's another workbench over there, but it looks like there's something on the ground beneath the work blanket, and it's covered by a fuck ton of blankets. Wool blanket, a knitted blanket, a bunch of blankets that's been brought down here for her to play with or cuddle with or do whatever. And it looks like just she's thrown blankets, a lot of blankets over something that's on the ground beneath this workbench. And she looks at you and she says, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
We don't know if you're supposed to be here either. When you say you don't know, do you mean you feel like maybe you don't? That you're not supposed to be here? Yeah.
Where did you come from, honey?
I was out playing and he told me not to go into the deep water, and I'm a really good swimmer. I'm a really, really good swimmer. Cassie, tell her I'm a good swimmer. And Cassie just kind of like idles on by. Something is wrong with Cassie. It's like the lights are off on stairs and Cassie is on some autopilot. And she looks back at you, Rhea. She's like, and I went into the water and it took me. I don't think Fifi could let me go. So they brought me back. And they brought me all of these fun things to play with.
Gonna reach out, touch her hand in like a comforting gesture to see if I actually can touch her hand.
She feels corporeal. She feels cold. Really cold. She feels corporeal. She's tangible. She's there.
What's over there, honey?
She gets real still and she looks forward. Refuses to answer the question.
I'll get up and move towards the workbench.
Yeah, before there's any contact, I would like to conjure a gust of wind to blow the blankets back. So that, yeah.
I love this. All right.
I'm thinking about 4. I don't see anyone helping me quite yet.
All right. Your goal is just to blow the blankets back to see what's underneath
To
it,
reveal what's inside, yeah.
You are going to be rolling on scared, clues, and trouble. This is good. Bad.
Okay, scared, clues, and trouble.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I have 4 dice, I think, with the spell and the word and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
So you roll 4 dice, and I have 4 obstacles for you. So you need to choose a number to assign to each of those obstacles.
I rolled all 2s on 4 dice. I really did.
Oh, wait.
So,
And magic is something different. Hold on. Result of a magic. The magic is beyond your control. The GM will say how you lose control of the powers. Treat dice on the scared and injured tables as ones through the participants working. Oh my God. Okay. So you botched this one.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. What I'm going to give you immediately is the gust of wind goes off. It throws the blankets in multiple directions. And what you see beneath it is Annie's body.
Annie's body. Oh no, that's not what I thought. Ah.
That's pulling back Perry's previous roll. The blankets
Oh.
scatter, and you can see Annie's body from this distance. You can't tell exactly how she was killed, but looking at it, it looks like that might be a broken neck. You can see the bruising coming through the skin as the blankets go in multiple directions. Every imaginary animal, every imaginary creature, every imaginary friend immediately stops and stares at you, Daniel. I mean, it's all of this activity and flurry, and everything stops, and all eyes are completely on you, and the wind continues to kick up around the room. You guys gonna have to yell to communicate with each other as this wind is jumping around. I'm gonna fuck with things you try to pick up or move as this turbulence is flapping around. Whatever is going on, Daniel, you've lost control of this gust of wind, and it's out of your control. It's almost like an air elemental running around doing whatever it is it wants to do right now.
Sorry.
We'll wait.
Oh, we'll wait for it. I'll wait for Rena all day.
There we go.
There we go.
That's all it takes.
Raz, did you do that?
And she immediately just drops her forehead like into your stomach and hugs you around the waist. I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
Are you supposed to be in the water?
And she nods her head up and down into your stomach.
Can you
Hold on, Rena. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can't tell when.
Wasn't
I'll wait
looking.
on Rena all day.
Okay.
I'm watching your lips.
Nope, it didn't work this time. Oh, yep. So, can I take you back, honey? We can go together.
And she looks up to you. The wind is pulling her hair up and out at this point, blowing it out. It's starting to frizz. And she looks at you and she says, I don't know if he'll let you.
Who's he?
Sorry.
Her brother.
Correct that statement. I don't know if they'll let you.
Okay. Well, we can try, right? You want them to be okay, and they'll only be okay if you go back. 'Cause the ocean misses you.
What happens when you're someplace you're not supposed to be? Do people get hurt?
Yes.
They can, honey.
What's going to happen to Fifi?
Fifi will be okay if we can take you back.
Would you be more comfortable if Fifi joined you?
Everyone's collective face on that one. Especially Rita's. She looks at you. And you can tell like this child is trying to process what you just said, but it's just above her intellectual and emotional capacity level right now. He used to come visit me, but he found a way to bring me here. I'm scared to leave him.
Stay here. If you stay, Fifi might get hurt, and other people will get hurt because the ocean misses you.
You hear the door latch ahead of you, above you.
Oh no.
The wind is still whipping around.
Oh God.
And you can hear the heavy footfalls as Fifi, who you all have seen in some capacity or some way, comes coming down the stairs. And he's wielding, it looks like a shovel, perhaps. And he gets to the landing and he looks, and it's interesting because all of the imaginary friends are almost like in this stasis because they're all focused on Daniel for that botched role, which I'm going to own Daniel here in a minute. But there's something about the way that Fifi moves when they move. It's almost like Moses parting the Red Sea. The creatures give way to them as they move. Good afternoon. I told Annie I didn't need any help. She shouldn't have brought you. We're fine. She's happy.
She's not happy.
How about the rest? And how about the rest of the people on this island? Are they happy with the state that we're in?
I'm not sending her back. It took her before. I'm not going to give her back. She's happy.
Then let me give you another option. You don't want to give her back. Why don't you join her? That way you're two together.
I need immediate reactions from the other two characters. I'm just curious. Give me like facial reactions. I'm just curious.
I mean, that isn't the only plan. That's not the only thing we can do.
He's killed, and he's willing to kill again.
They.
Isn't he?
They.
Aren't you,
They.
Fifi?
Oh, they.
Aren't you, Fifi? You're willing to kill to keep your sister here, even if it takes everyone's life on this island. You're not the first one I've seen like this. You don't care about what people, just so you are taken care of. A lot of people have been hurt. A lot of people will be hurt. And you already hurt one of the gentlest souls I've known.
Lisa, please roll me a 2d6.
No.
That's a total of a 7.
Okay. Give me 2 clicks, please.
Yep. Well, friendly or not.
Here we go. You said it was a total of a 7?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's correct this again. Give me the individual numbers.
A 2 and a 7. A 2 and a 5.
Fire, flood, roll me another 2d6.
2 and a 6.
Land and ward. That anger, that sharp moment of emotion unlocks something to you, and those are your 4 words of power.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
What were those again?
That's a great question.
Fire,
Thank
flood, ward, and
Ward.
I don't remember what the third one was.
I
I think it was Earth.
Land. Yeah.
Land.
Damn, you're good, Rina.
So fire, ward, land, and blood?
Flood.
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 Yeah, flood.
Whoa. Hmm.
Would you like to activate? Actually, I'm not going to do what you like. You need to activate one of those right this moment. You can choose randomly or you can choose, but you're looking at Annie's body behind you. You've just stated this. This is channeling years of trauma that you've actually dealt with yourself. You do know people like this, that level of selfishness where their own needs, they're willing to sacrifice absolutely everyone in their path. And it makes it even harder when they hide behind something like grief or what's normal or what should be accepted or religion but it's the law. You know this type of person. The tears are real for them, but you know what this type of person is capable of. What do you activate and how does it look?
Oh, I activate land, and I shove a hole right through the side of the space we're in into the ocean.
Whoa! Okay.
The ocean's going to get what it wants.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of distance because the ocean isn't on this property yet, but
No,
it's close. It's been inching and closing. So you blow a massive hole into the side of this basement, which just unearths the ground from the subterranean level and just absolutely blows a hole into this area.
I'd like to just give some magic in that direction. I'm not sure exactly how that works, or whether I'm using one of my words of power, but I'm just supporting that. Seeing a new witch be born is fantastic.
There's something delicious about Annie was right. Annie heard it. She heard it in his song. She was right.
That's right. That's right.
How are you supporting this magically?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
If I have, I'll use gust as a power word to. Oh no, let's be more fun. Let's
be more fun.
Yeah. Let's conjure as many moles, giant moles, as I can.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay.
So they're going to be assisting, like moving the dirt that is displaced and helping with the digging.
I like this. So you are conjuring, your hands are moving, and you're getting ready to complete when you feel the first snap of your first finger on your right hand just bend into a compound fracture. You thought you were in pain before when your lungs were on fire upstairs. This is worse. As a tendril from Cassie, the floating jellyfish, breaks that finger and is going for your wrist. You feel a searing pain in your back. You feel a searing pain in your back as, who else do we want to bring out right now? As Coco the bear Coco the bear is biting into you, and you realize, congratulations on the previous roll. I like the idea of just delay reacting these things. The imaginary creatures are attacking you.
I'm like just covered in
imaginary creatures that are biting and stabbing and ripping and pulling and stretching and breaking. It's a maul.
Oh God. I scream.
If I look at Fifi, is Fifi doing something to cause this?
Fifi is doing something to cause this.
What are they doing?
That's a phenomenal question. No, I absolutely love this. Fifi is clutching onto some type of ornament on their necklace, and they're rubbing it between their fingers, and their eyes are just vacant. And you've seen this type of magic before. These are the spell users that channeled through some type of an item or property, or they need a book, or this is basically like an activation of the spell component.
I want to use one of my words of power, which is curse.
Oh!
And curse them to sleep. Snow White style.
Oh, this is sexy. Go ahead and roll your magic, baby.
Okay. Get 3 for this. Okay.
This is going to be gold. There's no clues. This could be trouble or injury. Goals, clues, or goals, injured, and trouble.
Okay, put my 5 on my goal.
You make progress on your goal. It's taking a little bit longer than you thought, but you got it.
I've got 2 4s, so the 2 4s will go on the other 2.
I love it. You succeed without injuring yourself, your housemates, or your allies. That's a good one. Trouble die. One of your troubles will show up this session, or you will find an ally or comfort unavailable or in need of help. But as of right now, that works beautifully. Give me narrative on what this looks like, Rina.
So I turn to look at Fifi, and I see that Fifi is touching this amulet, and without even just sort of thinking, because all I can think of is need to make them stop, my hand goes out and my eyes turn a sort of misty blue.
Ooh.
And I speak the words that my mother taught me that I always wanted to use on David, but was always scared to do it because I love him. He loves me. I can't do that to him. But all that fury and all that rage and all that pain comes bubbling up, and I just say, sleep. And this mist goes shooting out of my hand towards Fifi.
And on contact, Fifi collapses to the ground. Now, here's the penalty that goes along with that one. I'll do the trouble now. I was going to let it go, but we're at the 11th hour with 10 minutes to go. Let's rock. This is going to kill one of each of your imaginary creatures. Tell me a cherished childhood memory that goes with this creature. Round table.
So I remember swimming with Cassie early on when I first, not the first time I transformed, but one of the early times after my mother took me into the ocean and taught me what we really were. And I was so enthusiastic and so excited about being able to transform. I would take my coat, my suit on and off and on and off and just constantly be going in and out of the water because it was so exciting. And I remember the first time I saw Cassie when I was swimming and we were going really deep and we saw a herd of dolphins. And it was my first time getting to see anything special like that under the water. And Cassie was with me and pointing out, like, there's the little babies and look how they're swimming together, and just telling me all these things about dolphins and little facts, and I would repeat them to myself, and I could reach out and I touched one of the babies and it didn't move away from me because it knew I belonged. And I felt like I belonged there with Cassie, with these dolphins in the ocean, with my little flipper reaching out, because I belonged here.
Cassie collapses into another powder puff of light. You just destroyed a cornerstone of your childhood, and it doesn't feel good. But Rhea, there's something about that last moment with Cassie as you forget touching that baby dolphin that feels like Cassie is proud of you in this moment. Biza or Daniel, do you want to tell me a cherished childhood memory you had with your imaginary friend that is gone now forever?
I could if you're...
Let's do it.
Yeah. So when I was a tween, I had a really deep friendship with another kid in my school. And we used to, sometimes we would even, I mean, you don't skip class when you're like 11, but we did. We would be missing from school for hours at a time. It's a big school. Sometimes they didn't even notice. But we connected. And the first thing that we connected about was that we both had imaginary friends. So I shared about having Boris, and this turned into a realization that we both had some kind of strange relationship, that we were different, that we had a strange relationship with the world that others didn't seem to have, but that we didn't feel like we could talk about. And the memory that is leaving me is that I remember that there was someone, but his name, his face, I can't even see his face anymore. And that was the first time that I believed I wasn't alone in this specialness.
You can't see his face, can't remember his name. Wow, you can't even remember his name. And that's as Boris struggles to crawl towards you, and then just one of those 8 limbs at a time begins to curl under as it falls over into his back, pulls in on itself, and then just dissipates into a puff of light. And you've lost 2 of the early things in your childhood that made you feel safe. But there's this departing feeling empowerment that you feel, that you know that Boris is telling you that you are now that safe space. Visa.
I'll just say that right now. What's coming to mind may result in someone needing to X me.
X card prepared.
Okay. Vise as a child is in a car trip with his parents and his brother, visiting relatives in the South. And there's a particular day, and it's getting late because we couldn't stop at any of the particular hotels we wanted to, even though they're the big ones. My parents didn't feel safe stopping there. And we were drawing close to my family's land that was there, but unfortunately we took a wrong turn. And they stopped. Killed the engine and told us to be as quiet as possible. I gather now, looking back on it, they couldn't risk moving without letting the people know we were there. In the distance across the field we were sitting next to, there was a bunch of people with torches. They were around a tree. And I remember my mother saying, look away from the window, trying to turn my head away. Look at the little toy giraffe that I had painted, and I know it was from my brother's set of things, and I was young then. I didn't understand the color scheme. I thought it looked better when this green and yellow dots rather than this yellow and black. I just remember her telling me to look away, and I could, just as before I did, I could see something hanging from the tree. And we had to sit there in silence. I don't know how long before they finally left. And then once they were sure they were gone, that's when my father started up the engine and we drove on to our relatives. Leaving that person in that tree.
Temperature check. Green. Okay. There's a feral cough as Dimba staggers down from his first 2 feet, collapsing onto his knees. He topples over, over. He's massive at this size. Not that comforting toy giraffe that kept you through that moment of agony and fear, but a full-size, beautiful giraffe. And he collapses, his neck folds, and his head stops. The tongue rolls out of his mouth, and his eyes roll back. And the universe can be cruel this way, especially in your awakening. The memory of what was hanging from the tree, who was hanging from the tree, of the fear of that incident doesn't go away. What goes away was the safe place that you had during that moment. And as Dimba dissipates into a puff of green and yellow lights, you hear Annie's song one more time, your soul song one more time. And you don't hear her voice, you don't hear Dimba's voice, but you hear some voice that says, welcome home. And one by one, every single imaginary creature in this basement dissipates. There's a silence. A bit of blood is pooling from Fifi's head, just from when they hit the ground. And Raz looks up to you, Rhea, and she's waiting for something as tears are running down her face. as all the things that had been summoned and brought to play with her to keep her company are gone.
I'll hold her hand. We'll make sure Fifi's okay. But you need to go back now. Okay? It'll be all right.
She looks up to you and she just nods as tears toggle out of her ducts. Her poor little cheeks are turning red. She looks a mess.
It's time to go.
She nods and she wipes her eyes with the back of her sleeves and she looks over to you, Daniel. She says, I'm sorry you didn't like our puzzle.
I like the puzzle.
And then she looks up to you, Biza. I have to go now.
It's for the best. Would you like us to accompany you? I'm holding my hand to her.
She'll extend a hand out. She's doing everything she can in this moment not to look down at her brother on the ground. You can tell like this is a 9-year-old that is just doing everything she can not to look down, not to look down, not to look down at her sibling. Not to look down, not to look down.
I'll nod to Rhea and gesture to Daniel, and I'll walk towards the hole I made in the wall, heading for the ocean.
Yeah, we'll all go.
You march her towards the waters. And Rhea, you know this intimately. This is what they want. This is what they've wanted since you arrived. And just out of the longest lapping wave, Raz looks down at the water. She looks down at her right foot, her right bare foot, and she looks back up to you, Rhea, and she goes, are you sure?
Sure, sweetie. Go on. The ocean's a beautiful place.
People in the town were right. You know, they never actually used the words, oh, Raz drowned. They kept the repeating phrase, the ocean took her. And that's what happens. The ocean takes her. Within moments, the skies begin to clear. Within moments, the water begins to recede. Within moments, Roseville Beach is bathed in sunlight.